It's another rainy day and we have some bananas that are really ripe. So I thought, what's better than a nice warm banana nut bread on a rainy day to complement your coffee or your tea. If your family is like ours, who always buy bananas but never really get to finish them, and so they just ripe over the counter, these bananas right here are perfect for making banana nut muffins or banana nut bread or any kind of banana desserts. So you want them to be really ripe, and having them this ripe will actually reduce the amount of sugar that you need. So with my recipe, I like to add a little bit of nutmeg, and it kind of just adds a little bit of warmth and this sort of, just a little bit of more depth to it. And if you have kids, you can also add chocolate chips. And if you'd like, instead of using sugar, you can also add honey instead. Also, another thing before you start, you want to make sure your butter is room temperature. This just came out of the refrigerator, so I will put it in the microwave to soften it up. And you want to use unsalted butter, but this one is salted butter because it's the only one I have in the fridge. So when it calls for salt in the recipe, I will not be adding any additional salt. So let's go ahead and get started. So if your bananas aren't ripe, you can actually put them in the oven for 20 minutes at around 300 degrees Fahrenheit, and that should ripen them up. And these are kind of mushy, so I'm just gonna cut the tops off. Look how ripe they are. So you're gonna need 3 bananas. We always have extra bananas because our neighbor, she buys bananas and she gives them to us, and so we have a surplus of bananas on top of our bananas that we buy ourselves from the store. When bananas are this ripe, they're very sweet, so that's why you don't want to add as much sugar as you would. So you just want to mash up the bananas. Okay, so we're gonna need a mixer. You could also use a hand mixer. We are going to cream the butter with the sugar. And I'm adding a half cup of sugar because our bananas are really ripe. You could also, like I said, you could substitute honey. Really, with the bananas being this sweet, we don't need to add that much sugar. And we're going to be using a paddle attachment. While the butter and sugar are getting creamed, we will be adding eggs to the banana mixture. Now let's sift our dry ingredients. So it's not too sweet, and the chocolate chips really add just a touch of sweetness. And this will be really good for this type of rainy weather. It's so good that I want another slice.